Hello guys, welcome to my crash course on Vite. In this video, we'll cover everything about Vite, we'll compare it with Create React app and see how we can start up our Vite application. So what is Vite? Vite is basically an alternative for tools like Create React app. It was created by Than CRA, the same developer who built Vue.js. It is a very fast build tool for front-end projects, and of course it's an alternative for tools like Create React app, Webpack, Parcel, and many other tools, and it was built for modern web development workflow. When it was first released in 2020, it was just an alternative to Webpack for Vue projects, but then they realized it could be used for any other front-end web frameworks, including React and even Vanilla JS. Now it is one of the most popular build tools in the web development ecosystem. So let's look at core features of Vite. Vite is faster than Webpack and Create React application. With Create React application, you need to wait for Webpack to bundle your entire application before you see any changes. But with Vite, all of those processes are skipped because it uses native ES models. The native ES models load files directly and then serves the file in milliseconds. So we also said Vite has an instant hot model, right? In Create React app, when you serve a file, Webpack has to rebuild the entire application, but in Vite only the changed model updates, making it almost instant. You don't need to rebuild all the modules or the packages in your application. You only need to update the changed model and still serve your application very fast. We say it's optimized for modern JavaScript frameworks like React, Vue, and etc. It automatically optimizes dependencies, so you don't need to worry about lazy loading modules, and because it also supports features like TypeScript, Post CSS, and JSX, really out of the box. So now let's compare the Vite build tool and the Create React app build tool. Here, I'm not talking down on anyone. The Create React app tool is still very good, still very okay. You can still use it to build your application, but as of 2025, when this video is being recorded, I would advise you consider Vite for your web application. You see, the Create React app is bloated while Vite is lightweight. The Create React app builds are slow, but Vite is instant. The Create React app requires ejecting for custom configuration, while built Vite rather is flexible. Alright, having considered all the advantages of Vite over Create React app, head over to the Vite documentation so we can see how we can start our first Vite application with React.js. So this is the official website for Vite. You can find it at vite.dev. I will say Vite, the build tool for the web. So if you go down here, you're going to see all that Vite supports. It says redefining developer experience. Vite makes web development simple and simple again. So you go down, you're going to see it supports TypeScript, CSS, and all of that. So how do we get started in Vite? We'll go back to the top and see get started. So this takes us to the documentation of Vite, right? You say Vite, a French word, quick pronounced as Vite, right? Vite. You can read about it. It means fast. It's a French word that means fast, which means it represents what it was built for fast building. So you can read about this, all of this, and see more about Vite. So when we go down to scaffolding your first Vite project, you're going to see compatibility notes. Vite requires Node.js version 18 plus or 20 plus. However, some templates require a higher Node.js version to work. Please upgrade if your package manager wants about it. So if you have any package like your Node or npm that is below the expected version number, you have to update before you continue. From here, you can use the npm to install your Vite. You can use the yen, you can use the npm, and you can also use the bourne, right? So here we're using the npm, and we're going to run npm create react at least create Vite at latest. So I'm going to open up my terminal. And I'm going to navigate to my document folder where I'll be having Vite installed. So now I'm in my document folder. I can create a folder for this. And I'm going to say mkdir Vite crash course, and I'm going to navigate to my folder. So now I'm in my Vite crash course folder, and I'll go back to the documentation where they say npm create Vite at lead test. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste in my terminal. And I'm going to hit enter. This is going to pop up some commands, some prompts, and I'm going to, they're asking me for my project name. I'm going to type in crash course as my project name. You can name yours whatever you want. I hit enter. Now it's going to ask me for my framework. Remember we said you can use Vite for your Vue, for your React, for your Angular, and many other frameworks. And funny enough, you can also use Vite for your vanilla JavaScript. Here we're going to use Vite for React, and I'm going to use my arrow button, arrow buttons to select, and I'm selecting React, and I'll hit enter. Now I have another prompt. So select a variant. You can use TypeScript, you can use TypeScript plus SWC, you can use JavaScript and React. So I'm just using JavaScript and I'm going to hit enter. Now we have scaffolding project. So I created my project in my root folder, my document folder, Vite crash course, and the name of my project is crash course, right? And after that you're going to see done. Now I have scripts to run. So I should navigate to my project called crash course, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to say cd crash course. Now I'm in my crash course folder. After that, they say we should do npm install. I'm going to install my packages. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say npm install. Right, I'm just going to do npm install. I'll hit enter. Now give it some time for the packages to install. Yeah, our package is done installing, and they say we should do npm run dev. But before we do this, I'm going to take you back to my code editor, and I'm going to import the project so we can see what the project is all about. We're going to see the boilerplate generated by Vite, and we're going to explain all of those files and folders. So I'm heading over to my VS Code. Here I am. I'm going to import my project. I created my project in my document folder, Vite crash course, and here it is. I'm going to select it and open. So here I have my boilerplate. See, Vite is very minimal. It did not generate as many boilerplate as you would see when you use create React app. First, I have my node modules where of course you see all your packages are being installed. After that, I have the public folder, which is basically holding my assets. Here is holding the Vite SVG file, and it can hold many other of my images. Next, I have the SRC folder, which stands for the source folder. The source folder is used as the folder for your application. So you can call it the application folder, where you have your app.jsx, your CSS files, and your main files. Next, I have the git ignore. This states the folders and files we don't want to upload to our GitHub, the ESList lint configurations, and here we have our app index.html. If you look at this, you'll see that we have a script instead of what you normally have to have a very large JavaScript bundled somewhere, but now we are getting it from our source app.js, source main.js rather, and this is actually our main file for our application situated in the source folder. And here we can change the title of our applications, and we are loading the root folder as usual. We have the package.json, we have the package log.json, we have the readme, and of course we have minimal Vite configuration where you can configure define your configurations, and you're going to define them here. You can define your port, you can define your server, and every other thing. All right, so heading back to the source folder, we're going to open up our app.jxx and we're going to see a default application generated to us. So how do we run our application in our browser? So we'll go back to our terminal. I'm going to clear this up and we're going to see, if you look up here, we have, they say we should run npm run dev. So we're going to run this to run our application in the server. I'm going to do this and say npm run dev. Now we have Vite 6.2.2 ready in 811 milliseconds and is running in localhost 3000, localhost 5173. So if I go to this IP address, copy it, and I go to my browser and I open up a new tab and I go to this, we're going to see Vite plus React and count is 0. So this is a default application. Whenever you create your Vite app and using the React framework, you're going to have a counter application as your default application. So back to this, if I come over here from what we have here, Vite plus React, and if I come over here to make a change, say Vite plus React plus, please subscribe. If I save this and I go back here, we have Vite plus React plus, please subscribe. So this is me telling you to subscribe to my channel, recommend to someone, and like, share, and drop your comment. So going back to the application, we can create a simple React component and see how we can render that. So we can just say function, I'm going to name my component done, and it's just going to return a JSX. So this is going to be a H element that say hello, we are done. So if I save this, and I'm going to clear out everything about the default Vite application, and I'm going to call my component done as a component. If I save this and we have hello, we are done. So this is how to start up your Vite application using the React.js framework, and you can start building your React application. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos. Do well to drop a comment below if you have any comment, any complaint, or any tutorial you want us to create a video on. See you guys in the next video.